john@rte.ie.
Good morning, Pat Shortt.
Good morning, Miriam. How are you?
Now you're in London. Tell me what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm over here at the moment working with the Michael Grandage theatre company. We're doing a West End show called The Cripple of Inishmaan, Martin McDonagh. It's got a host of Irish actors in it, but I suppose one man that everyone asks questions about is Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter, the actor from Harry Potter. So as if you wouldn't know at this stage. So yeah, Daniel's playing the part of the cripple. So it's a Martin McDonagh show. It's fantastic. Anyone interested in theatre would know all about his series of plays, you know.
It's a fantastic play. But listen, first of all, is it true that Harry Potter learned all the words to the Jumbo breakfast roll in your honour?
He'd done a bit of research on me before I came over, all right, and I think it was the Friday of the first week he got brave enough. We were out for a few drinks after a week of rehearsals, and he tore into a few bars, which was quite. It took everyone by surprise sitting there, I think. Yeah. So he's been following me, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually reading Ken Sweeney today, he was saying that he learned virtually every word of it for you.
Yeah, he did. I suppose I'm doing him an injustice. Yeah, he did. He learnt off the song all right for the crack, he's a very funny guy. He's a very, very, very nice fella and interesting guy, and he works very hard at what he does. So he does a lot of research on everybody he works with, and he's a big fan of comedy in general. So when he saw his work with me, he looked into it, and he absolutely loved the song. So he learned it off. Yeah.
This is your West End debut, isn't it, Pat?
It is, yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, no, I'm not nervous at all. I mean, I'm very excited about it. I've done one of Martin's plays in the past, The Lonesome West, with John Kenny many years ago, actually, in Druid Theatre Company. So I kind of know his work, and I love Martin's work, and you kind of immerse yourself in something that you're really excited about. So working on it is a huge. It's a massive thing to be doing. And then we went down to the theatre last week to experience what it was like standing on the stage. And it's a huge theatre. It's an old Coward Theatre on Martin's Lane. People might know it if they're travel to London. It's one of the big West End stages. So it is very, very exciting. I mean, I'm not even thinking about who's going to come in and see us, because I know there's a whole list of stars coming to see the show because Daniel's in it and so on and so forth. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Pat, you think it's kind of one of the biggest things you've done since Garage, which is what you won your IFTA for. Do you think that?
I do, yeah, I do. It is one of the biggest projects, and it's a different thing that it's moving into a different area as well, which is always, you push yourself when you do something like that. You kind of step out of your comfort zone, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and I think all that leads to it, Miriam, the fact that it is, probably is career-wise, it probably is one of the biggest things I've done in many, many years. Because the West End stages, I mean, there's only a few artists play the West Stage. Funny enough, though, there's a lot of Irish over here at the moment. It's almost like the building trade many years ago with actors now, though, because you've got the Weirs on, Conor McPherson's Weirs on at the moment, and I met the guys there, Richard Cooper and Ardlo Hanlon and Peter McDonald, and we all went out for a beer the other night. So yeah, and I know there's another kind of play coming in. I'm not sure which one it is straight after, with more Irish cast, and there's another theatre down the road. So a couple of the West End theatres have a lot of Irish cast on it at the moment.
So you wouldn't be lonely over there, Pat, at the moment?
There's no fear of me. All I want is sausages. I can't get a decent sausage over here.
We'll have to send you some, Pat.
I was trying to smuggle them in through the airport the other day, but had no joy.
You've a great relationship with those McDonagh brothers. I mean, they're all so smart. Anyway, because you appeared in Michael McDonagh's film The Guard, and you're going to appear in his forthcoming film
Calvary. That's due for release probably this year, I think. I've worked with the two boys before, and I know them for a good few years as well. Just from I first met them with Drew at that time doing the play, and I saw this production on its very first production in the National in London many, many years ago. So I've kind of known the boys for a long time, all right, and they're great. I mean, they're amazing writers. They're two of the most exciting writers in many, many years, both of them. People wouldn't know John Michael as much as Martin's work, I suppose, but then The Guard was a huge, huge hit, and I think Calvary is going to be a massive film when it comes out later this year. It's very, very different and quite dark, but it's going to be very exciting. Looking forward. Of course, Life's a Breeze is out. I have to mention as well.
Yeah, your new film.
New film is due for. It's in the Galway Film Plan in in July, which is very exciting as well. That film by Lance Daly with myself, Fionnuala Flanagan and Kelly Thornton in it, and a raft of others as well. So it's a good year for me. I can't complain.
Yeah, and Life's a Breeze, a recession comedy. Is it funny? Is it funny, the recession?
Yeah. It depends on how you look at it. Of course, there's nothing funny about the recession, but you have to laugh with misfortune. I think that's what the Irish are great for, And I think I read somewhere somebody mentioned it's in the vein of The Snapper and Little Miss Sunshine. It's got that kind of feel-good factor to it. So I suppose it's about a family in a desperate situation. My character has come up with a brainwave. He's living at home with the mother, and he's come up with a brainwave to do up the house for her. And obviously he's doing it up for himself, quite selfish. And in the vein of doing it up for the mother and the guys of that. And in the process of doing it, he does up his own room fantastic, and he gets the mother a new bed, and in doing so throws out the mattress with her life savings in it, close to £1 million. So that's the genesis of the story, and off they go on the road journey then to find it, and they get the whole country up in arms over it. So it really is a good feel good type movie, and a fantastic performance by Kelly Thornton as well, the young girl in it. She's amazing.
And you've also, as you say, got Fionnuala Flanagan, Eva Birtwistle, lots of fine female actors.
Sure. I'm always surrounded by great female actors, great women in general.
Is it a completely different discipline though, Pat, as you head into the West End stage now from, say, that film? Do you do things differently? Do you have a different routine? Do you go to the gym? Are you very healthy as you head into the West End? Yeah, you have to. I mean, I have been training for this for a few months. People might be shocked to hear that when they look at me. But you have to get some way aerobically fit. We're doing 8 shows a week, which is really intensive. You're doing 2 shows on a Wednesday, a matinee, and the show, and the same on a Saturday. So it's quite grueling. But the West End is like that. Every show that's on is like that. But then someone like me can't be complaining. Like with the series of shows we're doing with the Michael Grandage company, they have, I think, 4 or 5 shows running back to back over a 12-month or 15-month period. And I was over to see Judi Dench in one of the performances. I mean, there's the woman that's a good few years older than me, but she's fantastic on stage throughout the whole thing. And there's June Watson is in the play with me, is much older than me as well. June, she's got amazing energy. So when you look at people like that, you say, you've got to get some way fit for it and everything. So yeah, it is kind of changing my lifestyle slightly, which is no bad thing. Is it also different, Pat? Because I suppose you're going to go on the stage in London where you're not that well known. I mean, here everyone knows Pat Shortt, knows what you've done, knows in a sense what to expect of you sometimes. Is it very different going on a play where in London where you're not very well known? Yeah, it's very refreshing actually in lots of ways, because there's no preconceptions of what you're doing. A lot of people would know me from a comedy point of view. Now, that said, there's a lot of comedy in this play. It's a very, very, very funny play, very dark and funny, but it does require a certain performance for the nature of Martin McDonagh's writing. But it's actually a great thing. And also, actually, I've been well known by critics over here since Garage, but as an actor and not as a comedian. So it is very good. Yeah, it is. It's actually refreshing, as I say, that there's no preconceptions of what I'm going to do. Yeah, and there's no stereotypes that people aren't going to say, can he cross over? Well, she showed you could in Garage. Well, there you go. But see, that's the thing about the nature of comedy is you do get stereotyped a lot of the time, and people love the characters you do, and they can't separate you from the characters. I know that every time I walk into a bar in Ireland. I've loads of people shouting at me and all the rest and expect me to leap into a character immediately. But of course, that's what you do on stage, and what your own personal life is different. And as an actor, then you I suppose you can do various different roles. You can all you have to do is look at some of the great actors out there, De Niro and various other people, that they can do comedy, do serious, do this, that, and the other. So it's the job of an actor to be versatile. So you're surviving over there on your own. Do you have to cook for yourself and everything? I'm a very good cook, I'll have you know. I enjoy cooking, actually. I'm actually enjoying it. Look, I'm enjoying the whole the experience of being in London and hopping on a tube, going to work every morning and rehearsing in a wonderful rehearsal space down the centre of London, with every floor is
famous actors walking around and dancers and God knows what and everything else. So it's very, very exciting to be in that environment, and to be up there working with people like that.
So what are you missing about us, Pat?
The sausages. It has to go back to the sausages. I can't find a decent sausage in England.
I'm sure if you go up somewhere like Kilburn or Cricklewood, you'll find a good butcher with sausages. I used to live there.
Yeah, I've been told Marks and Spencer's have Irish sausages, and I'm off there over the weekend now, and I get a bit of time off. So I know. I mean, sure. Look, I miss the Irish weather. It's something terrible as well.
Yeah, well, it's raining today, so here in Dublin.
No, it's not much different in London, I can assure you that. So I know. Look, I get over and back the odd time, but it'll probably less now that the show's will be up and running. We're opening in 2 weeks' time. So.
And when does the run end?
September.
And then what's Pat Shortt doing?
Well, I'm taking a bit of a break, and funny enough, I'm back over to the UK. I'm doing a big tour of England, starting in London, working all the way up to Glasgow and Edinburgh, and back down again, Manchester, Liverpool. So it's one of the first big tours I've done in the UK. So I'm quite excited about that. And there's a few other things that might be happening in September abroad on the other side of the Atlantic as well. So I'm kind of tiptoeing around on a few things, and then I'm back touring in Ireland up to Christmas. So I've quite a busy year ahead of me.
When you say tour, you assume it's your stand-up tour, is it?
Yes, correct, yeah.
What are audiences like in Britain compared to here? Is there a lot of expat Irish, or do you also get quite a lot of Indigenous Brits?
Well, you get a lot of Indigenous English as well, of course, because the tour I will be doing will be mainstream theatres, so we're not going into designated Irish areas or specific Irish areas. Actually, I don't think there's any on the whole tour. I think my first few dates are in theatre in Leicester Square. So, and then I head on from there up to various theatres in Oxford and various other places. So, I've always been of the belief that if you're going to do an Irish show, and don't do a show that's tailored for somebody else. And no more that if a touring show came from the UK to Ireland, I'd go along to see it. I'd be very disappointed if they put on red beards and started doing Irish dancing to keep me happy. So you get out there and you do what you do, and you hope people will like it. But I mean, the Irish comedy has never been stronger in the UK over the years. Dara Breen at the moment is absolutely enormous over here.
Yeah.
Brendan O'Callaghan, of course, as everyone knows, Mrs. Brown is enormous over here. And, Ed Byrne is a very big comedian over here as well. And Jason Byrne, so on and so forth. And even Tommy Tiernan's over back as well. So they're well-used Irish comedy, and they love it over here.
Yeah, they love our humour. Well, listen, Pat, lovely talking to you this morning. Best of luck with that play. I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks, Miriam. Bye.
John at rte.ie